Hello everyone, it's Akunna from Grainlocks and welcome to another episode of Toolkit Tuesday, where we provide you with the tools to help you live a life that is fulfilling and impactful. So, when you hear the word rest, what comes to mind? For some, it might mean sleep or a lovely vacation in the Bahamas. For others, the response is, what is that? I don't even have time for that. I'll rest when I die. A bit extreme if you ask me, but a reality for others. And that's because we have relegated rest to something we will do later on when we have time. It's something we've planned for at some appointed time and not something we actively engage in and incorporate in our way of being and as part of our lifestyle. So, in today's episode, the tool I'll be speaking about to help you live a life that is more fulfilling and impactful is rest. Yes, rest. That four-letter word that carries so much strength in helping us function optimally, and yet we relegate it to the back burner. So let's unpack what rest is and why it's important that we engage with it more regularly than what we currently do. Well, we live in a very fast-paced world where there is constant change, and something is often required of us, be it responsibilities at work, financial burdens, personal sacrifices for the benefit of the family. The list is endless. We're constantly on the go. And so the idea of incorporating rest into my already busy schedule seems to be another add-on to my to-do list. And someone who might be feeling that they can't afford to rest will say, well, I've learned to function with 4 hours of sleep daily, and that's sufficient for me. Now, my response to that is, yes, you're sleeping for 4 hours, but are you at rest? There is a difference. You see, rest is a product of sleep, which means that just because you sleep, it doesn't mean that you are rested. I'm sure we've all experienced that at some point or another when we've had 8 hours or more of sleep and we still don't feel rested when we wake up. That's probably because sleep and rest are not the same thing. And so sleep doesn't provide all of the kind of rest that we need. And yes, there are different types of rest that we need. Fascinating, isn't it? So what has happened is that due to a lack of rest culture, it has resulted in high achieving, high producing, chronically tired and chronically burned out individuals. We're suffering from a rest deficit because we don't understand the true power of rest. So perhaps it would be best if I define what I mean by rest and then to explore the different types of rest that are available to us and what you can do to figure out what type of rest you need. Rest is defined as any behavior aimed at increasing physical or mental well-being. Very important. It is aimed at increasing your physical and mental well-being. It can be active, such as going for a walk outside, or passive, which is, taking 10 minutes to sit down and breathe deeply. By relaxing muscles and quieting the brain, rest can help restore a sense of calm during times of exhaustion, illness, or overexertion. Normal daily stress and fatigue also require periods of rest and relaxation, acting as a reset button for us, for the mind and the body. Now, research has shown that some of the benefits of rest include reduced stress and anxiety, improved mood, decreased blood pressure, chronic pain relief, improved immune health, and stronger cardiovascular system. And the list goes on and on and on. And so the question is, why don't we engage in restful activities to increase our chances of benefiting from all of these? Well, I suppose it's the human condition. I know what I ought to do, but I don't do it, even though I'm aware of the benefits. It's only when I reach that dire stage and I'm out of options do I do it. And even then, I might not always follow through. The joys of being human. Anyway, like I mentioned, there are different types of rest. And so it's important to know which one you need at a specific point in time. That's why sometimes after returning from a holiday in the Maldives, you return feeling exhausted and not at all rested. And that's probably because the type of rest applied was not meeting the need for rest that you had. So for example, feeling tired may have nothing to do with not getting enough sleep. Sleeping will not solve our tiredness. Perhaps a different type of rest is at play. According to Dr. Monica Johnson, the savvy psychologist, there are 7 different types of rest that you need: physical, mental, emotional, spiritual, social, sensory, and creative. Each one requires unique activities to help reduce the rest deficit. So, Have you felt tension headaches, body aches, you're struggling to keep your eyes open? I know I have. Well, this could indicate that you probably require physical rest. Now, this type of rest helps recharge your body by allowing it to slow down and repair. And so things like sleep, light exercises, and yoga can aid in this. On the other hand, you might be struggling to concentrate even on the most basic tasks, and your thoughts turn negative and judgmental thinking takes over. This might indicate that the kind of rest you need is a mental one. So, mental health rest helps recharge our brains and concentrate on our daily life tasks again. To practice mental rest, switch off from social media and disconnect from technology, and also practice mindfulness-based exercises. Third, emotional rest. This provides you with the opportunity to offload your emotions and allow yourself to feel lighter. So you might engage in this sort of rest when having frequent crying episodes or feeling a lack of motivation. Some ways to engage in this type of rest is through journaling, talking to a coach or a therapist, talking to a friend, for example, that you trust. When you feel the need to connect with others because loneliness is feeding on you, you probably need social rest. This could mean reconnecting with a lost friend, taking a night off from socializing, taking some time out and connecting with yourself through nature. This sort of rest enables us to feel connected. However, sometimes too much social communication can drain us, and that is when disconnecting is required. So you just need to know which one is at play for you. Spirituality rest is needed whenever you feel unanchored, when there's a sense of not feeling connected to anything and alone. And so spiritual rest can simply be about connecting with something greater than yourself. To practice this sort of rest, you can engage in spiritual activities like meditation, prayers, reading scriptures, volunteering, and helping others, because it allows you to feel connected to something greater than yourself. Sensory rest is about giving your senses a break. People need sensory rest when they feel overwhelmed, when their senses feel overwhelmed with constant stimuli, bright lights, computer screens, background noise, and multiple conversations. This can cause our senses to feel overwhelmed. This can be countered by doing something as simple as closing your eyes for a minute in the middle of the day, as well as by intentionally unplugging from electronics at the end of the day. And finally, the last type of rest is creative rest. You are always having to solve problems. Are you that person? Or brainstorm new ideas. So when your creative juices stop flowing and you feel a need to find new inspiration in your life, you need to take creative rest. And you can do this by exploring nature. Turn your workspace into a place of inspiration by displaying images of places you love and works of art that speak to you. Or declutter your room or workstation. And so there you have it. The 7 different types of rest available to you, which are physical, mental, emotional, social, sensory, and creative. There's a TED Talk by Sandra Dalton Smith entitled "The Real Reason Why We're Tired and What to Do About It." If you want to dive further into this very interesting topic, I'd suggest you watch that TED Talk. Well, here's the thing. I think what's very important is to begin to reflect and ask yourself, how can I better prioritize rest so that it doesn't become another add-on to my already hectic and busy existence? I think what's key is to find small ways in which you can incorporate rest and relaxation into your daily routine. We make time every day to eat, take our kids to school, do errands, and go to work. Why should rest be any different? Start by finding a relaxation technique that works for you, that speaks to the kind of rest that you need when planning out your daily routine. Find a consistent time to rest. So for example, now that many of us work from home and are constantly glued to the laptop, a restful practice is deep breathing. Perhaps set your alarm clock to go off at a random time during your day to remind you to step away from what you're doing, and for 2 to 3 minutes, just taking deep belly breaths in and out. Or there's a possibility of you going for a short walk during your lunch break, or to step outside and, open your arms wide and take in deep breaths. I promise you, it'll make you feel a little more relaxed. I don't think I can emphasize any further the importance of rest. It is not a nice to have, the same way breathing is not a nice to have. It is a necessity for you to thrive and live a life that is meaningful and impactful. And so, as always, I'd love to hear from you. How do you rest and how often do you do so? What did it open up for you? How did it aid in you living a fulfilling and impactful life? As always, please leave your comments in the comment section below or send it to info@greenlocks.com. Thank you for tuning in to another episode of Toolkit Tuesday. Remember, you are worthy of a life that is fulfilling and impactful. And so, be who you are and be that well. Until next time, take care. Ciao.